And those are the visuals we are getting right now of the fire that has broken out. In fact, the Russian troops is firing from all sides upon the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, which is in fact Europe's largest nuclear power plant. The fire has already broken out, and it is said that if it blows up, it's going to be 10 times. It's going to be 10 times larger than the Chernobyl disaster, and the Russia is of course showing no signs of ending this fire that has now broken out at the nuclear power plant. It is the fire comes as a result of shelling by the Russian troops. We have also a bite of the mayor coming in right now. Let's listen in.
Вимагаю, зупиніться. Негайно перестаньте обстрілювати впритул Запорізьку атомну станцію. Вимагаю, зупиніться. Негайно перестаньте обстрілювати впритул Запорізьку атомну станцію. Вимагаю, зупиніться.
And those are the visuals right now from the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, which has been set on fire as a result of shelling by the Russian troops. This is Russia's, in fact, beg your pardon, Europe's largest power plant. And the shelling has now broken out at this power plant by the Russian troops. The spokesperson of, in fact, let me go across to Major S.P. Sinha, who's joining us. Major General S.P. Sinha, who's joining us on the broadcast this morning. Major Sinha, good morning. Thank you for joining us early this morning. Your first reaction to this shelling that has, the fire that has happened at the nuclear power plant, which is indeed Europe's largest power plant, and it is said that if this blows up, it's going to be 10 times larger than the Chernobyl disaster.
Yeah, actually, you see, it's my information that Ukraine had handed over nuclear reactor facility to Russia when Russia and America have given security guarantee to Ukraine. Now, this nuclear power plant it's my belief that it is basically for generating electricity. Now, it is the biggest power plant. Now, once this power plant has been attacked with bombed, the obvious reason is that the availability of electricity in Ukraine will go down. People will start dying of cold. And it's my information that even in Paris, there's a friend of mine who is there. He's saying that in the hotel, he's saying that they've cut down the usage of electricity by about 20%. And he has to put on wind sheeter and all that inside the hotel. So I think it's a very dangerous situation which is growing up. And I personally feel that things are going to be tough. The way Russia is slowly and gradually trying to tighten the screw on Ukraine, things are going to become very difficult. And my only concern is that at leadership level there is a fight, armed forces fight each other, but who suffers? Normal civilians, ladies, children, they are killed. There is in future there is going to be a scarcity of food, there is going to be a scarcity of electricity, there is going to be a scarcity of power.
Yes.
People will die of cold, people will die of hunger. I think it's a curse of humanity. And I'm surprised that United Nations is still keeping quiet. Why United Nations is not into aggressive mode? I fail to understand. Are they supposed to only sit in AC rooms and have coffee? Or are they supposed to bring disaster under control? So I think it's a sad commentary on the functioning of United Nations.
That's right, Major General Sinha, and let's not forget that Russia has, of course, Russian president has put its forces on nuclear alert, and this comes when it has put its forces on nuclear alert, and there we have the Russian troops shelling at Ukraine's power plant, which is indeed Europe's largest power plant.
Absolutely. I think Russia is trying to give a message. Either you surrender or you face the heat. And in this process of sending message to Ukraine, things are becoming difficult. But let me tell you, until unless President Zelensky is arrested or killed, resistance in Ukraine is not going to die down. So civilians will resort to guerrilla warfare. There will be it is tantamounting to fighting in built-up area. Fighting in built-up area is a very, very complex military maneuver. And it is not so simple. Every flat, every window, every tree, every toilet,
Yes.
every bus, every taxi is a potential
Major
threat.
General Sinha, I'd request you to stay with us. Hold your thoughts. We are also getting the soundbite of the spokesperson of the power plant. Let's listen in.
В результаті обстрілів пожежа на атомній електростанції. Повторюю, в результаті обстрілів військами Російської Федерації в бік Запорізької АЕС виникла пожежа. Техніка Російської Федерації веде вогонь по Запорізькій атомній електростанції. Існує реальна загроза ядерної небезпеки на найбільшій атомній електростанції Європи. Вимагаємо припинити вогонь з тяжкої техніки по енергоблокам Запорізької АЕС. Повторюю, припинити вогонь з тяжкої техніки по Запорізькій АЕС.
Major General Sinha, we can see the visuals on our screens right now of shelling by the Russian troops at this power plant in Ukraine. What, in your view, should be the next step by the Ukraine government? Because if this blows up, the disaster is going to be huge, 10 times more than the Chernobyl disaster. Don't you think the next step should be to immediately evacuate those living in the nearby areas?
Absolutely. First is military action, and second is action with regard to civilians. You see, civilians are going to be, they are going to have a lot of casualties with regard to civilians. And with regard to military action, I think whichever tank, the number of tanks that are advancing towards Kyiv, I think the Ukrainian armed forces should retaliate and give a big lesson to Russian tanks so that they are able to, and when the talks are likely to take place, the second round or third round of talks, in that it should be made very clear that you cannot target installations which are of non-military use. And this is as per Geneva Convention. So why Russia is trying to target the power plant, nuclear power plant, I fail to understand. They are trying to attack buildings by missiles. The civilian buildings are getting destroyed. Geneva Convention is very clear. In war, your target should be armed forces, military installations, and not civilian establishment, not flats. This is absolutely incorrect. And why United Nations is keeping quiet? That's my worry. The United Nations as an organization whose mandate is to ensure peace and order in the world has totally failed. It is inert. It is passive. It is just like Dhritarashtra, it is just watching the show. It does not know what to do because it is ineffective. So I think it's a sad commentary and things are going to become very difficult. And I feel sorry for normal civilian Ukrainians. They are feeling the heat. They are getting the heat. I think it's sad commentary.
Well, thanks, Major Sinha, for sharing all those insights with us. And our viewers who are just joining us, let me take our viewers on the situation that is on the ground right now. The Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, in fact, which is the largest of its kind in Europe, has been put on fire by the Russian troops. And those are the visuals we are getting in right now of the fire, the constant the fire that is now taking place at this power plant. In fact, what is also being said that if this blows up, the disaster is going to be huge, very catastrophic indeed, and it's going to be 10 times more than the Chernobyl disaster.